I'm recording a vlog, a video log about movement. Now, I see, realize, and understand that there are two types of movements, at least, and one of those types of movements is the movement of energy as emotions and feelings, of which, because and from those movements, creates an outflow consequence of and as reactions within myself that I react, wherein I react to particular specific things, such as particular specific forms, sounds, and reactions of other individuals within my world and reality. So that is one of the movements that exists, is the movement of the mind as energy within and as emotions and feelings. There is a second movement, which is the movement of self, that self-directive movement. And see, realize, and understand that if I am moved by emotions and feelings, that I am not in fact moving myself, but I am being moved by the mind. And so thus therefore it is a point of seeing, realizing, and understanding that self-movement is is a self-movement and is not a movement that has an energy to it, or a particular feeling that may come up within myself, or a particular emotion that may come up within myself. It is in fact a self-directive movement. Therefore, I have to trust myself and not trust in emotions and feelings as outflows of and as energies to move myself. I move me. And so therefore, I'd like to do some self-forgiveness. Forgiving myself, meaning I am releasing myself from the relationship of accepting and allowing myself to be moved by emotions and feelings of the mind as energy. Now, why do I keep saying energy? Basically, energy is movement. We have the energy within this world and reality that we know of, which is kinetic energy and stuff like that. But basically, energy is force. It is a particular force, a particular movement. Therefore, what is the mind but energy? But a force that consists of and exists as thoughts, feelings, emotions, imaginations, back chats, which are internal conversations within the mind, and which outflows as reactions of emotions and feelings, as physical behavioral responses that create, develop, and mold our personality and perception of particular specific entities, such as peoples and places and things. And so I forgive myself for accepting and allowing myself to participate in the design of the fear of survival. Meaning, if I break it down, it is simply, in fact, forgiving myself or releasing myself from accepting and allowing myself to participate or exist within and support the design, which is the makeup of the mind as emotions and feelings. The design of fear of survival, meaning that I am holding on to something within my mind in order to uh, so, uh, in order to perpetuate a point that I accept and allow myself to exist as. So the personality, for instance, if I have a particular specific reaction within myself, um, and not take self-responsibility for it, that is in fact a survival of trying to hold on to an impression within myself in order to create the outflow consequence that I am participating in as an emotion or a feeling in order to express my perception of who I am. And so I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to participate in the design of and as the fear of survival as energy, as movement. Energy meaning emotions and feelings. Movement as the movement of emotions and feelings. As energy, meaning, well, basically, as means I position myself as energy, as movement, taking self-responsibility for it, rather than just saying, I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to participate in the design of and as the fear of survival within the energy or through energy, as energy. I become what I am already, but I become that awareness that I am in fact this particular emotion and feeling that I am expressing as a reaction. So as energy, as movement, fearing that if I have trouble with having an awareness of what the fear is, I look at the desire. What am I actually in fact desiring? I am in fact desiring to participate in emotions and feelings, to trust that these emotions and feelings that I am expressing is in fact myself. So the fear is the fear of losing. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to fear losing my trust in and as emotions and feelings. Through doubting whether I am the one that expresses emotions and feelings or whether I am the one that stands as stability within and as my world and reality and takes self-responsibility for what I have participated in and what I've accepted and allowed myself to be and become. Within this, I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to blame the physical for creating substance, and within that substance create form, and within that form I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to create a relationship to form, to pictures within and as the physical, as the makeup of substance. What is substance? Matter, atoms. What is matter in atoms? It is that which gives life or structure to substance, life to form as the structure, role, integrity thereof. And so therefore I blame the physical when I react within emotions and feelings through their relationship that is the path in between what I see with my physical eyes and the form, the particular form that is that I perceive as being within a distance from me. So therefore, also implying space and time. I forget myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to blame space and time for creating distance, wherein within that distance, I create a relationship within that distance to the particular specific form that I react to, which is in this case, not a form per se. My memory is through creating energy experiences within as desire, and so I had to look at that relationship of desire. That's where my realization came from within movement, and how I accepted and allowed myself to trust in the movement of desire and go with that desire, rather than trusting in myself here as the self-directive principle, meaning that energy is not that which creates who I am. I, in fact, direct who I am here, which is not energy-based. It is, in fact, principle-based, really. So I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to make the excuse that I have to survive as the mind, that I have to survive as the personality that I am, through desiring, no, I'm sorry, through moving with energy as emotions and feelings. So I can get it fixed, wherein within that fix, I can define myself based on that fix as a particular specific behavior or personality, thus reconstituting that personality within myself, and thus refreshing my relationship to that particular emotion or feeling that I have accepted and allowed myself to be accomplished in this world of reality. Within this, thus justifying my relationship to myself as a personality that is defined by energy as emotions and feelings. So within this, I commit myself. I have to make a commitment. I have to make a physical commitment. Because when I forgive myself, or when I speak self-forgiveness, when I declare self-forgiveness, I have to live it. And so that is the commitment that I make. And that commitment is, within this, I commit myself to winning, to assist and support myself to winning as I experience emotions and feelings, winning as I experience a movement that is coming up from within myself as a particular specific emotion or feeling. I stop, I breathe, and I let go. And I remind myself that this is a movement within myself, and to not follow a movement, but to thus in fact stand and not accept and allow myself to follow a movement, to become a movement as a consequence outflow, which I perceive as an expression. Therefore, I commit myself to winning as a movement comes from within and as myself as an emotional feeling. I stand. I remind myself that this is a movement, and I stand. And I do what it would be best for all, in such a way that a consequence is not created from the perspective of a consequence that creates abuse. But in fact, I move myself within a principle wherein I support myself within that self-directive decision making. I support myself within that decision. And so that would be the decision that would be best for all, is a decision to stand that is able to create a support rather than a point of abuse or a point of friction conflict, which is uh, a friction and conflict is a trigger point, really. Not really a trigger point, but a friction and conflict is that which creates emotions and feelings. It is that that for example, say if you light a match. No, say for instance, yes, say for instance you are lighting a fire. The fire would be the emotions and feelings. The friction and conflict would be you rubbing those two sticks together to create that particular fire. That would be friction and conflict. So, not to make a decision that will create a friction and conflict relationship, but will in fact uh, create um, support for the for myself within that particular specific situation or event or outcome. And so, yes. And so, what I am doing within myself presently is I am um, telling myself within my mind movement. I am saying movement. When I am involved within a event or circumstance wherein I feel a movement within myself, I immediately say movement within my mind, and what I do is I just don't participate in it because I know that this is a movement within myself. Am I defined by movement? Well, I don't want to be defined by movements because they're just consequences. They're just automations of what has already been created within uh, a particular specific circumstance or event, or within myself as a memory that I am conjuring up from the past into the present. Thus, I am just walking in and as an automation when I react, uh, utilizing an emotion or a feeling. I'm just conjuring up memories within myself and thus automating my existence as a robot instead of a self-directive being. Thank you.